Ready when you are.
Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
Hey, it's Joe.
And Joe, we pre-recorded 3 shows. So this is the first time we're speaking in 3 weeks. That might be a record for the last 5 years.
I was thinking that I was driving
that's
here.
The longest it's been since you and I actually connected on our once a week 30-minute catch up. And at this point, that's what this podcast has been reduced to. I mean, I think every once in a while we throw out some nuggets, but it's mostly just so that Mike and Joe can talk every week.
Exactly. Hey, what's going on, Mike? How's business?
Yeah.
Kelly, good?
So we do have a lot to catch up about.
Yeah, we do, man. So I've missed you. I know that sounds kind of.
I totally.
I was thinking about that driving here. I was like, I'm actually looking forward to this. And sometimes I'm like, oh,
Kelly and I were talking about it over dinner the other night, and I was like, I don't know how much longer the podcast is going to go on. Sometimes I think we're desperate for ideas, everything. And then she just goes, do you still enjoy doing it? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing. Like, I know that if we stopped doing it, we wouldn't. I mean, we talk regularly, but we wouldn't have this fixed 30-minute. Anyway, so to all the listeners, we apologize if we're getting sappy, but Joe and I are just good friends at this point, and we haven't talked in 3 weeks. So
we have not.
Yeah, so week number 1, I was away at the Wedding MBA out in Las Vegas, and I'll just give our listeners a quick recap. I did see a number of our listeners out there, which was really cool. I had the usual. Another reason why I still enjoy doing the podcast is, we go to these conferences and we get the, hey, I love the podcast, I've been listening, and so had a number of people approach and say, keep it going, love the podcast. Day 1 at the Wedding MBA, if you're not familiar, is when they split into the different segments. There's a whole day for photographers and venues, and there's a whole DJ day. So I spoke at that along with Artem and Stacy Nichols. Oh shit, I should have had that. And Scott Faber was the MC for the room. And it was a good afternoon of education, very well attended. The room was packed with DJs.
Love that.
I mean, like, there were more DJs in that room than at DJ Expo in Atlantic City, and also Marquee. I mean,
like give me a number, Mike. Was 200?
250 maybe.
Wow.
250.
Okay.
That's yeah. So that's how many DJs were there. And then I'll be honest with you and the listeners. I spoke on Tuesday for the general population. I think I only I attended Dave Landers. That's the only other seminar I went to. And then Wednesday, I just blew off the whole day. Quayne and Miles and I went hiking,
that was cool.
Which was phenomenal. And then we went to see Sting that night. And I just blew off the whole day.
That's fine. But
I felt like I deserved it. I
you
felt
damn
like
right
6 months of
grinding.
Yeah, grinding.
Dude, nobody deserved it more than you.
Yeah. So
I was proud of that. I was proud of you. But wait a minute, you skipped over the general population speaking. What was that like? I mean,
I did a seminar about sales. I was very happy because I was at 5 o'clock at the end of the day. It's funny because I was in my room. They split into different rooms. Huge rooms. I mean, we're talking
huge.
Like bigger,
no, I know.
Huge.
I think
like if any of our listeners attended Mobile Beat, it's like their breakout rooms are the size of Mobile Beat.
It's set for like 800 or 900 because I counted that one time I'd spoke there. Yeah.
So I'm in there's a 4 o'clock seminar. And I figured, let me get in the room just to kind of this way as soon as she was done. And she goes, hey, thanks everybody for sticking around till the end of the day. And I didn't interrupt her, but I was like, no, this isn't the end of the day. There's one more after this. But I was really pleasantly surprised. My room was, if it was set for 800, I probably had half of the room filled.
Shit, that's nice.
And I think a lot of it, I don't have name recognition to the general pub. I have DJ name recognition, but I think a lot of it had to do with the topic. Anytime sales is a topic at a convention, it is a popular topic. Everyone wants to improve their skills, and it was very well received. This is a seminar that I will be repeating at Marquee in Chicago, although adding a lot of DJ specific stuff.
Nice.
So this was really just on sales, in general, but I will be narrowing. I have 15 extra minutes. Casey has given me an hour as opposed to 45 minutes, and that will all be filled with DJ specific stuff. So I was really happy. I texted Casey afterwards and I said, hey man, I think kind of like similar to when you and I did the first workshop the first time, we were pretty sure it was going to go over, but until we got that first one under our belt, and people raved and people said it was really worth it. You don't know. And I didn't know about this seminar until I got the feedback after, and it was really
That's
good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
And then I had a little minor scare. I don't want to say his name, but one of the guys that I had dinner with texted me that weekend to say that he had tested positive, and I literally had dinner with him, and I'm talking like a dinner for 5, so it wasn't like a big banquet table, and he was sitting 20 feet away.
Sure.
And I tested, and I was negative.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's the vaccine or what it is. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just really, it was a minor scare for a day while I was waiting for the test result, but it came back negative, and
then you went right back to work.
And right back to work. I had 2 weddings that weekend and 2 weddings this past weekend. Yeah.
Man.
So that was week 1 that we pre-recorded. Week 2, you were in Scottsdale, and I can tell you the photos look incredible. So tell me about the DJ Collective.
Man, it was, I mean, you were missed. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I definitely felt like there was
oh, thank you. You don't have to say that, but
no. I mean, there was maybe 5, 6 people, and I was like, man, I wish Mike was here. I wish Alex Nepa was here, Chris Romero. There was some of these people. I was like, damn it, I wish they had made the trip. But it was fantastic, man. I got in on Sunday. There wasn't really anything. Monday really wasn't anything either, Mike. But we had about, if I had to guess, maybe 60 people that came in early, either Sunday or early Monday morning, and took master classes.
Oh, okay.
So that was the only.
Who was offering those?
Brian, Jason, myself, a video guy named Lindsay, and a couple other people. So, Jacob, that does lighting, the guy that's really good with those tube kind of lights. Maybe 6, 7 people. And you had the opportunity to pay a couple $100 and to learn from us. Mine was called Building an Empire, which seems like a sexy topic. I think it went over really well. I think I had about 10 people in that little speakeasy at a conference
and how
table.
Is that all day? Is it half?
No. It was 2 hours, but I went 3. I went 3 basically, just because I didn't have anything else to do that afternoon.
You had that much content.
Yeah. And then people had a lot of questions, and if they wanted to leave it, after the second hour they could, but a lot of people hung out for another hour, and it just became an open book kind of session.
Very cool.
Really good.
Very cool.
But we started Tuesday, man, just right out of the gate. DJ in the lobby, sax player playing along. I mean, right into the ballroom. That guy Graham that everybody loves, kind of.
I know Graham hit me up the week before that, and he's like, "Hey, I want to make sure we have lunch." And I was like, "Fuck, I'm not making the trip." I'm like, "Yeah, it was definitely what's the word FOMO?" I definitely
you were
had
FOMO for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody had FOMO that wasn't there. It seemed like. Dave was that first day. Christina Matucci, that's just like she basically spoke about being a number 2, kind of a right-hand woman to this that number 2, to this like really high-end planner. I mean, they don't touch anything for probably $1 million. And then the afternoon was just insane. There was 2 things that kind of blew me away. There was a guy named Gurminder Banga. He has this thing called the Banga booth, which is basically like a glorified photo booth. But he spoke about meditation. This guy meditates 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day. How do you find that kind of time?
I don't know, man. I had him on the Vault webinar. I'll send you the link. It's worth watching that. But then he came and, man, he did about a half hour. And I promise you, man, he had that damn room hypnotized, Mike. And everybody in there is a freaking spaz.
So what did he have? He got everybody, he counted down and got you meditated?
He got the lights down.
Wow.
Dave or Drew or Dave was DJing. He put on one of those kind of like, a yoga type chill tracks. And, dude, I'm telling you, he had that room damn near hypnotized.
Wow.
And we meditated, and then the polar opposite happens. And dude, you talk about shot out of a cannon. This guy Jesse Itzler, do you know this guy?
I've heard the name.
He's married to the girl that just sold Spanx for like $6 billion. He owns part of the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, dude, Mike, the guy walks up on stage. I thought he was a homeless guy lost. I was like, oh, who's a homeless guy? Like, get him off the stage. I was like, oh shit, it's the keynote speaker. He goes in,
millionaire keynote.
Dude, he might be he's a hundreds of millionaire. Like he is a real. And Brian Bonacisi somehow knows him, or he's in his coaching group, convinces him to come to Scottsdale. Mike, 0 slides, and he went for an hour. And I think I'm a good storyteller. This guy had me. He had me laughing.
God, that's an art.
He had me crying. I was crying at one point. I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't even know you, man. Like his stories were unbelievable.
Wow.
It was.
What you just said about looking like a homeless person reminds me. My first marriage, when I met my first wife, she was a DA down in Philadelphia, and one of the Kennedy kids was also a DA in Philadelphia. I forget which one, Bobby Kennedy's son, whatever.
Sure.
And so she invited me to their Christmas party one year. So I go, and I even said to her in advance, "Is the Kennedy going to be here?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's coming." So I'm looking around the room trying to figure out who the Kennedy kid is, right? Sure. And I see this guy very well dressed, like, great suit.
Killing it.
That's the Kennedy. I bet that's the Kennedy. So I go to Lauren, "Is that the Kennedy?" And she goes, "No, that guy over there." And it's some guy, frumpy guy, like wearing a polo that wasn't ironed. And I remember thinking, yeah, I guess what's the Billy Joel line? You can't dress trashy till you spend a lot of money.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I guess if you have that much money, you're like, who cares? I don't.
That's how he was.
Clothes are not an impression.
He had like a toboggan on. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And dude, the first story out of his mouth, I was like, I'm hooked. I was like, you and I have been to a billion conferences, and I've never seen anybody that good.
I envy those presentation skills. People compliment me all the time as a presenter, and I take it as a compliment. And
me too.
But I see some people I see, and I go, yeah, that's why they're up there.
Yeah. Man. Anyway. And then, dude, I'm telling you, that guy
was he the highlight of the week for you? As far as
he walks off the stage, and then Jani and Jazzy Jeff take the stage, and Jani interviews him, and I'm like, what is happening at this conference right now? Then maybe we had an hour and a half to just kind of decompress. Goes right into the party, which is finally at the pool because it is gorgeous now in Scottsdale, unlike last year or 2019.
Right.
Caper plays, or no, ADMC plays. This girl Caper plays. Jeff takes the stage. He rips it. Then everybody moves.
Scott?
No, Jazzy Jeff. It's like that.
Oh, Jazzy,
the closer.
I didn't realize you were on a first name basis.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Me and Jeff.
Jeff and I.
He rips it, and then we move inside because you can only play outside till 10. And ADMC must have played from 10 to 12:30. Like the whole night ends with me hanging off a speaker singing "Into the Road" by Boyz II Men.
Was that is that the pictures of you stepping on?
No, because that was the next night. I jumped up there again.
So you hit it hard 2 nights in a row, Joe.
And that kid Ricardo just stripped my shirt off, and I was like, I don't even care.
He took it off.
I'm not kidding, dude. I was like, why did I wear a shirt with buttons?
How much alcohol was involved in that? Was that just natural?
Man, I would promise you, man, it was. I distinctly remember this because Dave's face is pure terror.
Dave was like, if you step on my computer,
I was like, there's no way. I'm totally lucid. I had one drink. Maybe like a Red Bull and something.
Wow.
So I'm telling you.
Joe enthusiasm cutting loose. It's been a crazy year.
That second party, Scooter plays, and he doesn't like warm up. He goes straight for the jugular. In the middle of him changing over to Digital Dave, Fat Man Scoob walks out in the middle of the floor. He's like, I'm a people person. He's like, fuck COVID, fuck this. He goes, he just goes.
I think we can all agree with that sentiment.
He literally gets out in the middle of the floor, and everybody's just jumping around him. It was man. And then Dave takes over, and he's like, it was nuts, man. Anyway,
that's cool.
And then the next day was more like breakout sessions and stuff like that. And then we went back in the ballroom. I mean, it's a blur, man. Honestly, like it was nuts. Poolside cabana chats, like it was a lot like 2019, but different.
With nicer weather,
better weather.
Yeah,
and even better
typical
parties.
Scottsdale weather. Yeah.
Yes.
So the announcement was made that 2022 is in
Nashville, Tennessee.
Which I knew 3 weeks ago. I knew it, and I was like, "Bite your tongue, Walter! Bite your tongue!" I wanted so much to
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, okay.
Same type dates, November 15th through the 17th, and we'll open it up on December 1st for everybody.
So will Monday be a master class kind of day?
Yep. Exactly. That went really well.
I got to reach out to Brian about the possibility of doing that.
You would be a prime candidate for that.
Joe, I was thinking about it. You were kind of breaking my balls in a friendly way about don't go to Wedding MBA next year, go to this. But I'll be honest with you, the biggest thing for me is if I can choose between a conference that I'm simply attending or a conference that I'm speaking at and attending, I'm trying to build my brand as a speaker. So I always would lean towards the speaking possibility. But if I can do something at Collective next year, then it would be easier for me to justify.
You could actually do something and actually make a profit. How about that?
Right.
Can I float that in front
because you know the deal that you get with the Wedding MBA. You're getting paid in gratuity out there or gratitude. gratitude.
No, gratitude. Yeah, not gratuity.
I got these very nice coasters that I came home with. So I got that going for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can assure you 10 people would want to sit in a master class with Mike Walter on a Monday, and you can make $2,000. That sounds pretty sweet to me.
That sounds sweet. That sounds close to making up. What is the ticket price on next year?
About 20-some hundred. So
okay.
No, but wait. If you're speaking, I think it was a discounted rate. I can't remember.
Great.
I feel like you could do both.
Who do I talk? Who should
Brian
my
B.
people
Brian
talk
B.
to?
Yeah, Brian B. No. I'm not.
Let's
I'm not
negotiate on air.
Yeah, I'm not in charge of anything.
All right.
People were like, so Jan, I booked the entertainment. Brian booked the speakers. What did you do? I was like,
I was in charge of climbing on the equipment.
I just tried to get people to show up. I don't know.
Well, Joe, at this point, your name recognition is enough to draw people in. I mean, you've got the platform, you've got the vault. I'm sure I would guess a lot of
there were tons of great hackers, a lot of vault people.
Right.
It was good.
Right.
And it was great.
And will there be a attendance cap on next year?
It is.
Like I know this year you literally sold out
at 100 seats. Like it's that. You know how small that room was. No, it's 200. The room would hold 200. So I don't think we'll hit that
capacity.
I don't think it'll hit that. I'm thinking
I will bet you right now. You
think so?
Out. Yeah.
We've already sold 60 to the people that were just sitting.
So you're already 1/3 sold out, and you're questioning whether you're going to sell out. Stop it.
We still have 360
with the powerful promotional vehicle of this podcast alone.
There we go.
December 1st is when the tickets go on sale.
Yeah. The DJ Collective Official.com.
And for listeners, where should they tune in for that announcement? Where do they go to get that?
We'll just be on the site that day. The DJ Collective Official.com. The DJ Collective.
So be on the website, not on Facebook. Yep. The announcement will be okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So that's it, listeners. We basically wanted to get caught up on the last 2 weeks, and then obviously we're recording this the day before Thanksgiving. I think we usually drop it on this day, but I'm just going to drop it on Thanksgiving morning. I'll just promote it tomorrow. Yeah. Everyone's sitting around waiting for family to come over and
where's my food?
The turkey and So what are you doing tomorrow?
Heading to the beach today with the boys. Yeah, my mom and dad will be down there.
Place, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I saw you took in a Tar Heels game. Tar Heels.
I did. I went and saw the Tar Heels play basketball last night. They actually
won. With your oldest?
Yeah, with my youngest. And
that's your youngest?
And his homeboys. Yeah, that's Dave.
How big is he getting?
He's gotten big.
Oh, my God. I saw that picture, and I thought it was your first.
No. Colin looks even... Colin looks like a grown man.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you, I don't think we put the pictures up. We got together, we had a family get together last week, and my nephew is now taller than me. Oh. The last couple of years we've been doing the back-to-back picture thing.
Sure. And
he
got you.
Fucking kid is 18 years old, and he's been creeping. And last week he is now officially taller than me.
You.
I'm like trying to spike my hair. Yeah. No, I still got you. But he's got me, man. I don't know where he gets the genes from, but my nephew is now
Colin as well. He's taller than me now.
So they do. They grow up.
No, that's crazy.
So you're going to the beach. That's cool.
What are you doing?
Mom actually came out last night. Kelly and I went to see a play in the city, and then we picked up my mom late last night. So she's here. As a matter of fact, I have to wrap up soon because she's going to start working out in the room behind me in 5 minutes.
Me too.
So if we gab too long, we're going to start hearing my mom working out in there,
crushing it.
So it's just the four of us: Kelly and Kelly's mom and my mom and I. And we're doing. Everybody's pitching in. We're all making a little something and just eating all day. And the Cowboys play at 4:30. So hopefully I'll catch that. And and then my mom's out all week. So and I only have one event. I'll tell you, it's so weird.
Do you have an event
after a year of triples and even quadruples to have one? Like my routine on Monday is to prep, last minute prep, which I know you and I talked about doing that as a future topic, and I think we should get to that. But my routine on Monday is the prep for, the last minute prep for the weekend. What a difference between having 1 week. It took me like 90 minutes on Monday. And there were some Mondays where I was working till 9:00 at night, prepping my 4 weddings for the weekend.
I thought about that. Save that for a different topic. Cause I really thought about that when you and Jason were going on those grinds, which I never did, thank God. And I was like, man, it took me this long to do this Saturday wedding, like how
to get it ready.
Yeah. How do you get it all ready? Yeah. Not even including loading gear, and literally just like schedule, songs, etc.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
a lot of work, man.
And I made a comment on Facebook about that recently, about listening to songs I'm not familiar with before the wedding. And my older brother made kind of a snarky remark. He's like, "So you were listening to music this afternoon?" I'm like, "Well, and I get why. I mean, it's a little bit more entailed than that. You listen to it, you think to yourself, where am I going to put this?
Go? Right.
I usually make a note like, oh, this is a mid-tempo song, dinner song. This will be a banger. But then also I put my cue points in so that if it's a dance song, I can mix it well later. So there was a little bit more involved than just that. And speaking of topics, Jay Sims, who I had dinner with last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
He said that you and I did a topic once about the best song by alphabet. In other words, the best A song and I don't think we ever did that, did we?
No,
but that would be an interesting topic, right?
Thanks,
Jay.
Jay.
It would take me some time to organize it, but I also, is there a good Z song? Is there a good X song? I don't know if there is. Is there a good,
maybe we could take an exception or something and skip
the Q's and but there's probably some letters like C, like, do you go with Crazy in Love? Do you go with Celebration? Do you, I mean, there's some songs that you're going to go, some letter, but that could be an interesting, and our listeners love our music topics. So maybe that one's, so Richie, if you're listening, we're not saying what next week is. We're just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and seeing what.
So one is prepping, one is A to Z. Favorite song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and Richie also asked if we could get a new Christmas song. Did he send that to you too?
Yeah, he did. And I go, ask Mike.
I'm up for it. Ask Mike. I'm up for it. I mean, that episode did take a lot of editing on my part. Yeah. But it's also like the week of Christmas is generally slower. So if I'm going to spend, my normal prep, after you send me this file, it usually takes me about 20 minutes to drop an ad in, and so that one took like 2 or 3 hours, which is why I've been happy to replay it every year for Christmas week.
3 years.
I would be up, but my problem is I don't think my taste in favorite Christmas songs has changed that much.
I need to go back. I need to go back and listen to it to see what I said.
Right.
Randy's really good at keeping us as a company up to date with the newer, releases that come out every year. Whoever put out Christmas.
I don't know the newer ones.
I know.
Like Alanis Morissette just released the John Lennon song "Happy Christmas."
Sure.
And it's okay, but like that's one of those songs that didn't need to be ever redone. Like it's like At Last by Etta James. Like nobody, I mean, Celine Dion took a shot at that, and it's not the Etta James version. Like there are
When a Man Loves a Woman, Michael Bolton.
Right. There's some songs you should just leave alone. The first time was the best time, unless you're going to completely reinvent it, like Joe Cocker doing With a Little Help from My Friends. He did a completely different. Didn't come close to what the Beatles originally intended. If you're going to do that, that's one thing. But if you're just going to do another version of the original, to me, it's like Weezer's Africa. There was no point in that cover. You know?
Oh, none whatsoever.
None. Zero. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a few future topics that we can decide on by next week.
30 seconds, what you're grateful for, thankful for, either one.
Well, personally, my wife, my family, I don't want to get too mortal in, but if some of the listeners saw, we had to say goodbye to our beloved Shay last week.
I was going to bring it up, but I couldn't figure out where it went.
I'm grateful for the life he had. I'm grateful for the fact that 6 years ago he was diagnosed with cancer, and we were told, even with the amputation, that he may have less than a year. So the last 6 years have been gravy, and he certainly treated them that way, and we treated him that way. So
amazing.
I'm grateful for the life he led, and the fact that we were lucky enough to get him. I mean, we got him. He was one of 8 in a litter. Yeah, and so we had and I said that to him on his deathbed. I said, Shay, I'll never win the lottery because I already won it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, dude. It was a beautiful dog, man. I got to see the dog in person. Yeah, I follow him on Instagram. I see him running.
I've always said to Kelly, when I go to a DJ convention, I go, babe, people ask about you all the time. More people ask about Shay, but people do ask about you all the time. So yeah, and then business wise, Joe, more than anything, my staff this year stepping up and doing events during a pandemic we had a number of DJs come down with COVID because they caught it at weddings. And fortunately, other than an illness, there was nothing serious. But it just shows you that I don't want to make it seem like we're frontline workers, like medical, but
No.
we're out there. And you have to cherish your staff that did the events this year and didn't question it and never said no to them. And so that I gotta say those. How about you?
It's always going to be family first for me as well. But man, I just am so happy to be back to work. It was a really bad year last year, man. I mean, everything was bad. You know what I mean? Like, I really started thinking about it, from 1 year ago right now. I was in surgery. I had that rotator cuff shit. I went to rehab for 6 months for that just to get it back to 100%. Like, I was going 2 or 3 times a week. Like, imagine the number of hours I spent at that place. Then it goes, I get COVID in January. Again, I'm lucky. I was healthy. I felt okay.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to say lucky. You're healthy. You care about your health. You keep on top of it. And not that healthy people aren't going to hospital and dying from this thing, but the odds are way
especially
down.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year, man. And even this year is just, I think that this year's been rough, but being able to reset and play again in March really helped me get through it. You know what I mean? And it made me realize how much I love my job. I loved, last year, I got to spend more time with everybody, but man, I wanted to get back out there and play. I wanted to make up all these shows for all these people that had to punt. And it's just, it's been a challenging, I'm saying last year really, Mike, but like, I just realized in 3 months, this will have been 2 years that we've been dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
And so, it's been a challenging, another, 2 years.
Exactly.
And
I went to a Broadway play last night and I still had a mask on.
I saw that.
I had to show a vaccination card and wear a mask, which kind of confuses me why both, but okay. Let's err on the side of caution. But yeah, sure. I mean, anyone thinks that it's over. It ain't over. We're still losing 1,000 Americans a day to this virus. And I agree we need to open things up and get back to some normalcy, but we also can't let our guard down.
Yeah. No, we definitely had
I'll
mask
finish,
at the game.
If we're going to talk about gratitude,
Sure.
I'll finish this podcast the way we began it. I'm thankful for our friendship, Joe. I'm thankful for this podcast. I'm thankful for the fact that we have this pin in the calendar that basically forces us to speak every week. And it's something that we enjoy doing. And so our friendship is definitely one of those things that I'm
for sure
grateful for and thankful for, my friend.
For sure. I know if I need anything, I could always call you, whether it's personal or business.
Yep.
And I feel like you the same. And then,
same.
As long as we have one person listening to this, even if it's one of Mike's rescue animals.
I think Troy.
I don't think anybody in my family listens.
I think Troy might stop sponsoring us if we're down to one listener. I think if we get under 100, he might be like, "Yeah, I don't think it's worth sponsoring you guys anymore." So hopefully we maintain that.
Shout out DJ Event Planner.
Yeah, always. So thank you to our listeners.
Thanks everybody.
Obviously, we appreciate you being there and
Happy
giving us
Thanksgiving.
feedback and everything else. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a healthy one.
Thanks, y'all.
Ciao.
Later.